When it comes to Amazon parrots, there are two common biggest problems that people have: the biting and there being a one-person parrot. What does that mean, and what do I do about these things? Hey guys, I'm Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond and a couple other books, including coloring books and novels. You can find my books on Amazon. In this video, we're talking about Amazons. So this here is Lorenza, my yellow-naped Amazon. I also have three other Amazons. They're all different species. We've got Henry, who is a mealy Amazon. We've got Ursulus, who is a Mexican red-headed Amazon, and Tico, who is an orange-winged Amazon. Interestingly enough, Henry and Ursulus are BFFs. They like to be like this. They're always together. When Ursulus is like leaving Henry's cage or anything like that, unless Henry's coming too, Henry gets unhappy. He's protective. They're both protective of each other. And even though Ursulus loves me and loves interacting with me, and even though Henry will let me pick him up, they really have chosen each other. And so I am fun, but in sparing amounts. When it comes to Lorenza and Tico, they aren't each other's best friends at all. As a matter of fact, Tico used to be best friends with our golden conure, but we received a second golden conure. And now the golden conures have, of course, bonded with each other, and the boy kicked Tico out, my Beatrix. It's not a happy thing, but there you have it. So now Tico doesn't have anyone he's really bonded with. So he's actually warming up to me a little bit. And Lorenza, well, she chose me. So she has just always been a one-person bird, and I am her one person. What does that mean? That means that no one else can really come too close to us. If I'm not around, my husband can sometimes pick her up and meet me somewhere and take Lorenza with him. When they're in the car or somewhere that Lorenza doesn't recognize, all of a sudden she gets nicer. She's a little sweeter with my husband. Or other people too. Every now and then on a blue moon, my mom can pick her up too. But generally speaking, Lorenza's bite, just like most Amazons, is pretty significant. That may not be the biggest beak in the world because macaws have a bigger beak and cockatoos have really powerful beaks, but this beak can definitely do some damage. I mean, what parrot beak can't, but it's pretty significant. I have proof of that on my hand. My daughter has proof of that. My mom has proof of that. Definitely a scary thing, and this end of her isn't scary. Oh, there we go. There's the scary end. So a one-person parrot is a parrot that just naturally chooses one person to bond with, and that is, or I should say one creature, because it can be another parrot or it can be a human. She's like, don't put me down. I want to be with you. Do you see that? Look at her gently pushing my finger down with her foot. She says, don't move me. I just want to be right here because I'm her one person. I think that Lorenza would be very happy to spend all day on me, hang out with me all day with me doing nothing else. That would be no problem for her at all whatsoever. Now, Ursulus isn't quite that bad. When Ursulus was a baby and I hand-fed him, the family, everyone in the family handled him so that even now he's friendly with everyone, and he isn't the way Tico and Henry are, which are tolerant of me picking them up, but not really interested in too much more. Tico has just started to let me pet him more. Henry doesn't, because they already have their one creature or one person. Just like Lorenza. If it's me, I could do almost anything. I can come over here. I can grab her head. Come here. She complains, but she lets me, and she doesn't hurt me. Whereas anyone else wouldn't be able to get near this close without her really biting them. So what do we do about the bites? Well, when you have a one-person parrot, it's a little difficult, and Amazons are one of the most one-person parrots I can think of. I have had several people respond to me on my YouTube videos and say, yeah, my Amazon is the same. I'm the only person, so I don't bring people over. I don't invite people over to my house, and that's just fine because my Amazon and I are happy, and when I want to see people, I go out. I get that. It's not that big of a deal. If you like to have parties, it's probably a big deal. If you like to have parties, parrots might not be the best companions because you've got a lot of people as companions, and parrots like to sleep at night. They like it quiet, and they don't like strangers. Amazons certainly don't like strangers. So everyone knows to just sort of keep their distance from Lorenza. No one, pokes the bear kind of thing. No one comes up and like pets her and does things to her to try to get her to bite them. And we don't have biting problems. We also read their body language. As you learn to read a parrot's body language, you easily are going to avoid being bitten. So body language isn't easy to teach because, for example, when they fluff up, sometimes it means that they're really happy and sometimes it means that they're really about to attack. But you do get to watch and you do get to know. For example, right now, Lorenza, she's cleaning her beak. I know, it looks like she's biting it, but she's cleaning it. And if I come over and pet her, she's kind of going, what is that noise? And I don't know what it is. There is something going on, and she's like, I'm going to go to my safe spot. I'm like, okay, no problem. She's like, I'm just going to hang out with you. And even though a lot of Amazons talk, Lorenza doesn't really talk too much. But there you have it. So we learned to read the body language. If Lorenza's tail were fanned out, do you see that gentle? She's like, of course, she's not biting me. But if I didn't know her, I would not let her on my shoulder. I don't let Tico and Henry on my shoulder. Do you see how her tail is pretty much just straight? She will fan it out and show the colors in her tail when she's not happy. So you learn to read the body language, and there you have two body languages. One was the tail, and one is the fluffed up that when they look like they're kind of stalking you the way a dog does, they are. So there you have two that can hopefully help you. So you learn to read the body language. Another thing that's just really easy to do with an Amazon is you learn to grow a mutual trust. I would say that trust with an Amazon is just as important, if not more so, than it is with just about any other bird, especially maybe cockatoos and macaws, only because they're larger. But when it comes to that trust, it's really important because you don't want to get bitten just as much as they don't want to get hurt either. So making sure that you develop a mutual trust is a super important thing. Lorenza's a little upset because she's like, I said I want to stay with you. And I'm like, yes, but I need you for my video. So when you're working on developing the trust, watch your parrot's body language. Watch where their eyes go. For example, I gave her a treat at the beginning. If I had a treat and she was watching the treat, it would mean she was interested. If she's looking somewhere else and she's kind of going like this, like she's getting ready to jump, she is. So you learn to watch the body language. As it is that you can get your hand closer, but maybe not in biting distance, you learn to feel a little more comfortable. You learn to measure whether or not things are going well. When you have confidence with a parrot, one of the things that they do is they always beak each other. It's kind of like what I call a handshake. Maybe it's a kiss, but it's an affirmation of their connection and their bond. So Lorenza, she's a little nervous again, but parrot kiss. Parrot kiss. Hi. Parrot kiss. Parrot kiss. Yay! So as you develop the trust, you will find that you can get closer, maybe get your hand closer to the bird, the Amazon, and the Amazon won't fluff up or back away. Their proximity to you on a perch, for example, will tell you a lot. Lorenza's proximity on my arm tells you a lot. She's been a little nervous, and yet you could see that she's coming right up. She could get closer to me, but not much. I mean, she's pretty much up against my neck because that's her safe place. So if Lorenza was like on my hand or trying to get on the chair or just trying to get off me, that would tell you that she didn't want to be with me. So when you're working on that proximity and on building the trust, watch and observe the parrot. Watch and observe whether the Amazon comes closer to you to try to connect with you or stays kind of back away from you. Another really good body language to know to watch with any parrot is they will fluff up. Arabella is such a crack up, our umbrella cockatoo. When she sees the dogs, which they're acclimating to, the birds are, she goes from being, you know, kind of a bird like that to putting everything out. Her umbrella comes up and she looks 2 or 3 times bigger, and she kind of walks like this, like, I am big and nasty, stay away. Pretty easy and obvious body language, right? So just watch the proximity, watch their body language. Fluffed up feathers can mean excitement, but it also can mean I'm big and nasty. As you watch these things and as you approach your parrot, and there's no difference. There's no difference in what she's doing. There's no difference in her feathers. There's no fanning of her tail. Then you can see that she's comfortable. And again, there's some weird noise going on over there, and it's throwing the dog and Lorenza off. But otherwise, even so, you could see that Lorenza's pretty comfortable with me. Develop that trust, and you should have far less biting. Don't violate what makes them feel safe and secure, and you should have far less biting. Offer them healthy treats. As you offer healthy treats, if your hand is in danger when you go like this, put the treat down so that the parrot can't bite you. You can remove your hand, the parrot can come to the treat and learn to get closer and closer to you. As you do those things and you give it time, you're going to develop a phenomenal relationship. Now, if this is an Amazon that likes you, it can still take a while. It can still take weeks, maybe a couple months, for the Amazon to get comfortable. Tico, it's been a couple of years. Well, it had been a couple of years before he got more comfortable. So it depends on how old they are and what their past has been like. But when you give it time, you're going to have a best feathered friend. You're going to have a best friend for you because they are one-person birds and you can't change that part of their nature. And you're going to have a parrot that doesn't bite no matter what you do to her. Oh! I don't ever do that to her. I'm just showing you that she doesn't bite me because we've got the trust built up. We've got the bond built up. So don't just go in necessarily and expect not to be bitten. Recognize that as much as you need to be comfortable, they need to be comfortable too. So give it that time and you'll shift and change everything. If you haven't already subscribed to my Parrot Gazette, make sure to catch the link below so that you can receive a free copy twice a month with great information on parrots. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, be sure to check out my books, and I will see you in the next feathered video.